Welcome to 39 Steps. This is another one of those indie titles. I hesitate to call it a game. Basically, this group wanted to make a movie. That's what it amounts to. And you have very little, if any, actual abilities. So it's based on an espionage thriller, and you are the protagonist, and you are attempting to stop the espionage. This intro just should basically tell you all you need to know about how it is basically a movie. We're going to hop that intro. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and continue my game. As you can see, I have completed this entire thing all the way through. In fact, I think if I go to cards, yeah, I've got every single card, and I think I got all the extras too. Nope, I'm missing one award for something. I don't know. That's what we got there. All right, so you follow this path. Turn down the game a little bit. There we go. You follow a path, and like this intro screen here, it's linear. It's bloody linear. How linear is it? Well, let's see. I think it's this one. All right, we're going to start here at A Pack of Lies. I'm just randomly starting here because this will show you very quickly why. Okay, let me step back a minute because I'm actually annoyed by this game. I just finished a game and I'm like, all right, gonna record it. So, yeah. A little bit livid about the game. So I'm gonna turn the game down a good bit for a minute. Okay. So there's games like Fallout and Grand Theft Auto, games like that are open world style games where you have a storyline, but you can pick and choose whether you actually want to follow that storyline. You can go do other things. Then there are games like Brothers, or well, Brothers is a great example, a recent example. But games where the story is the driver of the entire thing, but you're fully involved and invested in the story. Then there's games like this. Now, I recently watched NerdCube's Beyond Two Souls video, and he discussed the narrative dissonance on that game. 39 Steps takes that narrative dissonance and magnifies it. Like, I am not partaking in this game at all. You will see that I don't do diddly in this game. My presence is not required. They should have just made it a movie and called it a day. Okay, so let's go ahead and start A Pack of Lies. Play it. I will say the story itself is interesting. I mean, in a way, if I could read it on a book, I'd love it. The graphics I like. They kind of jump a little bit between like a watercolor style and almost attempts at realism. But there's no live action. It's all stop frame like this. So a lot like Myst. Sound is used a lot. Further, there's nothing really with your mouse. So in order to, and I can't actually do this because you can't see my mouse, but in order to advance the narrative, I have to take my mouse and move it in a counterclockwise direction. Is that right? No, clockwise direction to advance the story, counterclockwise to move it back. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Forward, backwards. Unless there is a golden dot at the end, then I left click. Don't ever right click, because if you right click, it takes you out of the game, this and moves you back to the start screen. Also, annoying as heck, the game does not bind my mouse to my main monitor. My mouse goes wandering off to my other monitor constantly. That's annoying. You don't actually see actions. All the actions are described to you. So here's an example. Now look in the bottom right of my screen, and you'll see 3 diamonds. That's the number of of events that are going to happen on this particular scene. So I've got this first word, and I'm going to do clockwise rotation, and then clockwise rotation. See, isn't that slick? No, it's not slick. Okay, I'm not actually vested in any of this. So here we are again. I've got 3 actions again. Roll, roll, and click. Okay, here's my action. I get to have action. Woo, action. I get 2 actions. I can open or write. And if you do it in the wrong order, you end up with issues. You don't get your rewards, basically. So if I open it, then I can't write. But if I write, then I can open. So I'm going to write. Here we go. This is the level of my action right now. I'm going to take my mouse and I draw on screen like that. It only the thing only works the second time. So let's go to open now, because now you're going to really get a feel for the gameplay of 39 steps. No joke. This is the gameplay of 39 steps. Right there. That's it. That is your gameplay. You draw freaking lines and symbols, and then you click your mouse and like it. Okay, so I first came here, and I was like, oh, and I click crank. I'm gonna have to actually do the symbol things to crank it. I'm gonna feel like I'm part of this. No, I don't. I click crank. I'll jump in the car and go. Also, the thing that annoys me is the sound of like the guy when he runs or does anything like that. He's so annoying. He's always coughing and hacking and unable to keep his breath. And I'm just like, oh, dude, just stop. All right. I think we're coming up. I think that towards the end of this scene. It's like, I mean, I like this painted set piece. I'd totally like get the words out of there. But I'd totally take this scene, like frame it, put it on my wall. That would be pretty watercolor. Good game it does not make. Or it could. Oh, here
40 HP car
we have our voice actor too.
Over the crisp moor roads on that shining May morning.
Okay, when he's by himself, he speaks pretty quickly. But when he has somebody else to talk to, it's like, talk faster, talk faster. It took me 8 hours to get through the game, and it wasn't because the game is hard or long. It is because the game takes so bleeding long between each event. Okay. Another thing. Now that we're here, we've had a flashback moment. All right. Now I'm able to click on various clues to advance my story. Now, if you look in the bottom left of my screen, there's diamonds. I know that I've succeeded when I have all of my diamonds gold. Isn't that nice? And notice if I don't move my mouse, that the light will pan across and it will light up the clues. Look at that. Oh, isn't that nice? The game plays for me. I don't actually have to do anything. I'm just going to move on. I really had hopes for a game like this, an adaptation of a book. I thought, that'd be really cool to play as part of the book. But this is not playing a game. This is watching a movie and giving me token attempts to have some involvement. The problem is it only detaches me farther from the actual storyline. Because I get thrown with these random clicks here and there, then I feel like I'm farther detached from the actual narrative. Like, here's a great action sequence, okay? He was driving. He dodged. His car goes flying over. It crashes, right? Okay, so that was sort of an action-y sequence there. A branch of hawthorn got me in the chest, lifted me up, and held me while a ton of expensive metal slipped below. Okay. Yeah, could we have modeled that? And by the way, you will never see this guy. Let's see if I can get this thing to roll forward. There we go. When he sits and talks with somebody, and okay, there's an example right there. Look sort of towards the middle. See, like it looks like a ghost is right there.
I must apologize. Oh, bless my soul. Do tell me you're all right.
That is your guy.
It's lucky that I did
one of
not
those
add
two.
homicide to my follies. Well, that's the end of my Scotch motor tour. It might have been the end of my life.
Now, the problem for me is I can read very quickly. I can read extremely fast. And so when the words are on the screen and the guys are talking and they're acting, and the acting in a movie would have been superb, but they're acting out the emotion of the scene, and it takes forever in some cases. This one was fast because it was an incident. It was something that was actioning, happening, and so the patois between the two of them was very quick. And I liked that. That was cool. Granted, I could read faster than I could talk still, but that's just me. The problem is, because it's not a movie and because it's all it's not even stop action. It's a freaking watercolor. We're watching a watercolor.
You're the right sort of fellow. I can spare a quarter of an hour, and my house is 2 minutes off. I'll see you clothed and fed and snug in bed. Where's your kit, by the way? Is it in the burn along with the car?
It's in my pocket.
A toothbrush?
I'm a colonial. I travel light.
A colonial? By gad,
So,
you're the very man I've been praying
that
for.
was a great event.
By
That
any blessed chance of
can't
being
I see the guy? Can't I see him pull the toothbrush out of his pocket?
Oh, good show.
Wouldn't that be like amazing to just watch that interaction? But no, instead I have two ghosts on the screen who talk. And then, I mean, yes, if I'm reading a book, I have to mentally create this imagery. But I'm not reading a book. I'm playing a game, or in theory it was a game. It's on Steam, and that's what... How did it get greenlit? This isn't a game. This is a movie using watercolors. And what probably was some really good voice... I mean, not probably. The voice actors are good. Great voice actors. The story is great. It's just these token gameplay elements. And you see, all I'm doing is spinning my mouse. And that's it. The sound is telling me a story. That's great. The words are telling me a story, sort of, if I read them. The guys have great voice acting, but the problem is, again, what are we doing? We're doing a computer game. Here we go. Here's a close-up of all of that you see.
You find me in a deuce of a mess, Mr. By the by, you haven't told me your name.
Twiston.
Twisden? Any relation to old Tommy Twisden of the 60th? No? Oh, well. Well, you see, I'm the Liberal
so he's going to go on
part
about
of the
this
world,
for a
and I
little
had a
bit.
meeting on tonight at Brattleburn, and that's my chief time.
And he keeps like going, and it's one of those things like he's telling a story. I don't care.
Coming to speak for me tonight.
At this point, I
And had the
stopped
thing
caring about the
tremendously
game.
built, and the whole
And
place
I was just like,
grounded.
I want to skip ahead. I want to skip ahead. I want to skip ahead. But you
I had a wire
can't
from
skip
the Ruffian saying
ahead.
it got influenza at Blackpool.
By the way, that
Here
noise in the
I am, left to
background,
do the
that
whole thing myself.
thing is your guy.
I had meant to speak for 10 minutes, and now I must go on for 40. And though I've been racking my brains for 3 hours to think of something, I simply cannot last the course. Now, you've got to be a good chap and help me. You're a free trader and can tell our people what a washout protection is in the colonies. All you fellows have the gift of the gab. I wish to heaven I had it. I'll be forever more
So
in your
he's
debt.
just keep going. I was trying to get Hannay, which is actually his name, not Twisden. He's using aliases. I was trying to get him to make his noise again. Like, and that's the one thing, like his noise, like if he goes in the sequences where he's quote unquote running, which is just words on the screen, his panting just drove me insane because it was just so overdone. And again, I'm staring at watercolors that don't actually move.
All right. I'm not much good as a
So, there
speaker,
you go.
but I'll tell them a bit about Australia.
Oh.
All right. So, 39 steps. Oh, God. Yeah. It's wasted 8 hours of my life to basically go through this. I could have read the book in like 2, if that. I have a feeling these kind of books are probably the kind of books I'd read like 4 of them on a flight from Denver to Chicago. But the story, if you're in it for a story, there's a story here. If you like watercolors, there's watercolors here. If you're in it for decent voice acting, there's decent voice acting here. If you want to actually play a game, go somewhere else. Even Beyond Two Souls is better than this. And that bird is annoying me now. So there you go. This is 39 steps. I don't like it. Don't even... No. If the guys that made this, give me more gameplay, or don't put it on Steam. Steam is about gameplay and computer software in general now. But this isn't a game. This is a story. I respect the story. I respect the art. I respect the voice acting. I don't respect your attempts to throw me little bits of gameplay per sequence. I don't think I have more than a few more. Oh, here comes another moment. Here we go. Wait a minute. We got another moment coming up. Here it is. We got bored of doing anything, so now you're going to have to click and read for yourself. Literally. It's like all the backstory that you would have got in the book in like 2 pages, maybe, probably not even that, in a book like this, probably like 3 graphs. They do like this. Instead of having the characters interact, I have to read about it. Yeah, just don't even bother. Unfortunately, 39 Steps is not a game that I would ever recommend to anybody. So there you go. It's been DerTebbers. This is 39 Steps, a digital adaptation of a book that I'm not a fan of. Until next time when we find another indie game to review. Bye.